Get ready for an unfair advantage over your competition. This is the Sales Edge podcast, where globally recognized sales expert and trainer Joe Pici helps you sharpen your skills for booking more appointments and closing more deals. And now, here's your host, Joe Pici.
Well, hey team, this is Joe Pici of The Sales Edge. Welcome to podcast number 65. And The Sales Edge is a podcast that's focused on you, your teams, your company, to help you get better. You know, the podcast is sponsored by Pici & Pici, which is a speaking, coaching, training, consulting company that specializes in helping their clients take what they do to the next level. Whether it's growing a career, growing a business, the specialization is how do you get in front of your target market? Whether you are in the insurance industry, commercial real estate, whatever, or you're a professional speaker and you're looking to gain more clients. That's what this podcast focuses on, helping you get in front of that target market. And so today, our podcast, we'd like you to be aware of a couple things. One thing we'd like you to be aware of is Joe's available to you, okay? He wants to be available to you to be a part of this, you know, give some suggestions, give some ideas of what you would like us to speak on. Also, I want you to understand that we don't have big egos here, and we're always open to you working with us on getting better. So if you'd have a topic you'd like us to discuss, if you have a disagreement, call Joe at 407-947-2590 for a complimentary cup of Joe, or just email Joe at PICI.com and have input. Also, if you could help me out, Global Gurus has contacted us and said they had a glitch in some of their website, and if you were able to vote and it went through, great. But if you'd like to vote for Joe Pici on globalgurus.org, and you'd like to help me just kind of move up the ladder there, we'd appreciate it if you go back into globalgurus.org, go to the sales section and vote for Joe Pici. And it's humbling, and we'd be honored to accept that vote. Now, as we've moved forward throughout the year, you know, it's hard to believe we are on podcast 65. You know, it's just been 8 months. And so we put out 8 a month, every Tuesday, every Thursday. And we finished last week. You had the one on Thanksgiving. Well, today, this podcast is on a really, really important subject. It's really kind of hard to quantify this. But the podcast is on the word enthusiasm. And, I've got some definition. Having or sharing intense enjoyment, inherent approval, sharing great excitement, passionate, focused excitement, lively pursuit, eagerness, devotion, vigorous, or forceful. Think about in your life, you know, do you like being around enthusiastic people? Do you like to follow enthusiastic people? I was a football coach for 20 years, and I realized that teams needed an enthusiastic coach. I always saw enthusiastic teams perform better. I go into companies and there's enthusiasm, and the ones that are enthusiastic tend to be higher with their productivity, to seem to like to be around each other. A lack of enthusiasm can be construed as apathetic, cold, dull, disinterested, unexcited. I don't know who wants to follow that. So let me say this about people or companies that lack enthusiasm. I think it's really hard to generate a momentum. I think momentum is easier to gain when you have enthusiasm. You know, you can opt in or opt out, but I opt to have enthusiasm. If I didn't love what I did, if there was not a passion or an excitement about what I did, why am I doing it? For you people out there, can I challenge you with something? If what you do does not make you enthusiastic, can I challenge you in the year 2020, find something that will? Find something that will stir a heartbeat, something that will help you jump out of bed in the morning and be enthusiastic about the day. And I was talking to a guy yesterday, and I really kind of felt bad. There was nothing that he was excited about, you know? And so let me give you some of the causes when a person or a company lacks enthusiasm. One thing that can cause a lack of enthusiasm is a lack of confidence in one's strengths or abilities. So if a person doesn't have confidence in what they're doing and how they're doing it, they could very well lack enthusiasm. Another cause of a lack of enthusiasm is fear of failure. When people are afraid to fail, they tend not to throw themselves into something. They're more on the defensive than the offensive. And so they sit back not wanting to fail. So what they do is they fail to go, and they go apathetically, and therefore that enthusiasm, which may have been part of the success factor, doesn't exist. Here's another one. A lack of enthusiasm can be caused by lack of approval for your thoughts and actions. Other people not approving you, people not feeling approved, people not getting the approval of others can cause a lack of enthusiasm. Now, I can't tell you stop doing that, and I can tell you that a couple of the behavior styles tend to fall into this more, where they're so focused on getting someone's approval that determines their characteristic. That determines whether or not they're going to be enthusiastic about a project or not enthusiastic. And I would say we need to guard against that, because someone else's approval should not mandate your attitude, your perseverance, and your enthusiasm. Here's one. Number 4, a lack of enthusiasm can come from overwhelming stress and anxiety. When you are stressed, when you are anxious, you can very much lose your enthusiasm. You know, I was a college football coach, and I remember I got fired and I took a high school job. And I loved coaching, and we're getting ready for our first game, and I was Mr. Serious. I had the intensity, I had the eye of the tiger, but I was really intense. And this older gentleman lived in this town, Jack Llewellyn. I'll never forget Jack. Jack had been best friends with Weeb Ewbank. You're too young to remember that one. But Steinbrenner of the Yankees. And a lot of people had put Jack on a shelf, and I found him in town, and I said, hey, would you be my administrative assistant? I just like having you around. I need somebody who's traveled these roads more. And we're getting ready for the first game, and he comes up to me. He would always call me son. Son, do you like what you're doing? I love what I'm doing. Well, why don't you notify your face? Nervous hen will make nervous chicks. You're an enthusiastic guy. Let it come out. And I'll tell you what a lesson of life that was. I put a smile on my face. I became enthusiastic, and the nervousness that was throughout the team went away, and we performed extremely well. Actually, we performed above our capabilities. Here's another one. Lack of motivation in a specific direction. So when you are not motivated, it was going to be hard to be enthusiastic. Number 6, flat out being bored. If you're bored, you're not going to be enthusiastic. I don't know how anybody can be bored. There's so much going on in the world. There's so many things to do, so many things you can achieve. Number 7, The habit of procrastination. You know, if you procrastinate, you're really going to struggle with being enthusiastic. Number 8, and there's not much you can do about this one, flat out laziness. A person who's lazy is going to have a hard time being enthusiastic. And I don't have any coaching on that. I can't coach lazy to be ambitious. Number 9, lack of focus. When you lack focus, you will lack enthusiasm. And when you lack vision, I'm getting ready to do a keynote for a big company here in town, and pretty much the whole thing is going to be revolving around the power of the dream and the power of vision. And vision creates an enormous amount of enthusiasm. Now, here's some bullet points I noted that are going to be part of this, and just some more characteristics. Enthusiasm is passion. Enthusiasm is living your dreams. Enthusiasm is a divine energy you will feel as a reward for pursuing your dreams and staying on your own path. Well, that's strong, isn't it? Enthusiasm is the most obvious feature. It's so you can't hide enthusiasm. If you have enthusiasm, it's obvious. It's obvious to people around you. It's obvious to your team. It's obvious to your company. It's obvious to your clients. It's obvious to your competition. A person that possesses enthusiasm has a special driving force that guides him or her through any roadblocks. He has access to endless source of energy that lifts him above the masses. His energy level is much higher than average. I can tell you that I'm not a spring chicken. And Dawn and I laugh all the time because she said, we never act our age. Neither one of us. You know, most people our age may have called it a day, may have had big pensions or whatever. And we're on our way up. We're looking to double or triple our business this year. We're more optimistic and energetic about our business than ever. And a lot of this comes from that internal enthusiasm. A person easily makes choices who has enthusiasm. They can make choices. They can tell good company from bad company. It's amazing. A person with enthusiasm doesn't lose themselves in irrelevant details. They stay focused on what's important. Another thing, a person with enthusiasm is not afraid of risk-taking. They have the courage to finish projects they start. A person with enthusiasm, they tend to be creative, and they tend to draw creativity from people around them. So these are some incredible things about enthusiasm. People with enthusiasm tend to draw people to them. People like being around them, that energy. They have a positive energy that draws people to them. And we all know, no one is an island. And to be successful, we need to create teams and collaborations. A person with enthusiasm has incredible faith in themselves to get the job done. Person with enthusiasm, they have a high level of dedication, and they have a gratefulness about them, okay? When they experience fear, it does not paralyze them. So their enthusiasm can help them overcome fear. It's amazing because they have originality in their approach, and they feel freedom in that. They don't feel confined. I'm going to give you a couple key benefits of enthusiasm, okay? Number one, key element of enthusiasm, other people will follow you. When you generate enthusiasm, you will create a following. People like to follow an enthusiastic leader. They like to work with enthusiastic vendors. They like to, if you're a consultant, a coach, a sales rep, whatever, people like being around you. They like that spark. They find great energy in that. Okay, number 2 benefit of being enthusiastic. You will create productivity. You will create a contagious productivity. People that are creative not only are more productive themselves, but they generate high productivity in people around them. That is so important. Number 3, you become a role model. Whether you want to or not, whenever you have enthusiasm, you will become a role model to other people. Now, I'm not saying you should want people to be like you, but I am saying that when you cast that example of enthusiasm, when you put it out there, people like to emulate positive people. I mean, it's amazing because when I look at people that I follow, when I look at people that I kind of get some juice from, they are not deadpan people. These people they are full of vinegar, man. They are rocking and rolling. They are so focused on excitement and getting the job done. Number 4, you will build a reputation. You know, everybody builds a reputation. What do you want yours to be? What do you want people to say about you? What do you want people to think about you? What do you want when people think about you and they think about your approach, your attitude, the way you communicate? Do you want that reputation to be one of just getting by? Do you want people to look at you as a person who same old? One thing that drives me nuts is when I talk to people and I say, what do you do? And they go, just killing time. If you really want to get under my skin, say that, because I think time is so important. You can invest it, you can waste it, you can spend it. Invest every moment in proactive behavior. And number 5, you will absolutely achieve greater personal success. People that are enthusiastic always seem to acclaim greater success. They always seem to go the extra mile. They always seem to hit peak performance. People that are enthusiastic always seem to draw successful people to them. They always seem to have people want to follow them, to work with them. You know, one of the things I want people to see in me is that Joe Pesci is enthusiastic, man. He loves what he does. Would you want to hire somebody that didn't like what they did? Would you want to hire somebody that just seems to be logging time, waiting for Friday? People, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm out the gate? Are you kidding me? You know, people say, Joe, when do you stop? Stop doing what? I found something I love doing. I'm enthusiastic about it. This is not a job. This is a calling. So this has been Joe Pesci, podcast 65 on enthusiasm. Hopefully, this is a focus for you. So take out your phone, type in 55678. The message is Sales Edge, one word. If you hit that, that'll take you to a link to a splash page. There's some free downloads. There's also links to our podcast. Folks, if this podcast is of value to you, can you like it? Can you share it? Can you make a comment on it? We would appreciate that. Don't forget, we are, my son Mario and Dawn and I have been planning. We're getting ready to launch Giants of Transition. Those are everyday people those are ordinary people doing extraordinary things to take what they're doing to another level or to transition into another facet of life. And we're going to interview them on this show. We're working out the technology. We're working out the equipment. And don't be surprised. Oh, by the way, if you feel like you'd like to be on the show, volunteer. Let me know. We're going to be contacting some of you and asking you to be part of this. It's our honor. We're growing, and you're part of that. We appreciate your loyalty. We appreciate you being part of what we're doing. So thanks for coming. And, oh, by the way, podcast number 66 is going to be Dawn Peachy, and she's got a real surprise for you. A great topic that'll have great value for the growth of your business. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening. New episodes will air each Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star review. The Sales Edge is sponsored by Peachy & Peachy Incorporated, a firm which provides training, consulting, and keynote presentations, empowering corporations and individuals to attract and retain quality clients for higher revenues and growth. Make more money in sales. Speak with Joe in person by calling 407-947-2590 or visit www.peachyandpeachy.com. Spelled PICIAND, PICI.com.